Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Give everybody a minute or so to hop on before we get started. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Pulled over
Yes.
out of the road on the way to camp. So making it happen. All the summer activities. Sammy, you said you had a good weekend. I'm glad you had a great weekend.
I
We had
didn't know I was unmuted. So
you're
yes.
good. Um, all right, y'all. Last week we talked about value and being able to provide value. And this week I want to talk about never-ending cycle of learning and educating yourself at every single stage in your career and in life. And I love this quote. The quote says, "Be a lifelong student. The more you learn, the more you earn, and more self-confidence you will have." Again, I'm going to say that again. Be a lifelong student. The more you learn, the more you earn, and more self confidence you will have. What I typically see happen, specifically in real estate, is we don't have confidence. And we don't have confidence for two reasons. Number one, we haven't learned enough to feel confident in what we're talking about and how we're consulting and educating. And number two, we don't know our value. So, I want to talk about being lifelong learners today and where you can have access to all the things about real estate that you can learn. So, when I first got into the business with Keller Williams, we had God, I think it was E-Edge was our transaction management system. Anyway, it was all kinds of clunky, but we had what we now have as KW Connect. And I would go on there every day, just like I told y'all last week. I would encourage you to read 1 to 2 pages of a book. And then I would encourage you to watch one of these videos so that you could start learning from others. So we've got models in our Keller Williams system and quite frankly in the real estate world in general. And, are you going online, constantly being an avid learner, making sure that you're educating yourself and following the models that we have. So I'm going to go to two different places because I want to make sure that everybody knows you have access to everything you could ever want in terms of learning. The first is Novalynk. I'm going to come over here. Again, if you do not have access to Novalynk, please get with Angela today so that you have access. Um, all of this has, well, there I am. All of this has blogs, videos, additional information where you can learn what's happening in the real estate space. This is awesome information. It says industry news, keeping current matters. If y'all don't know, Housing Wire is a great one for you to read and learn more about. But this one is retro rate funding round will fuel assumable mortgage tool set. So if y'all don't know this, assumable mortgage, if you haven't dealt with them, are kind of the thing right now because of the lower interest rate. And then over here, you've got top home upgrades to keep your cool this summer. All of this stuff, y'all, you could share on your social media so that you could be the local expert. Same thing with the blogs, understanding home management. There are all kinds of things on here that you can watch. Um, for instance, this one with me and Kevin Cannon crushes me in terms of production. He does over 300, I think 300 million in production a year, maybe a little bit more than that. One of the top residential teams within Keller Williams. But it has all of this information. And then I wanted to share this right here. So this says broker chat and this says industry update, two of my favorites. Why would I want to watch a broker chat with Ann LaCusta? Because number one, y'all are going to tell me what? This is for Texas. I want y'all to understand why you want to understand what's going on in other markets, just like you are with our local market. Other markets make up a national market. Ann sits on the NAR board of realtors, and so she is extremely knowledgeable with what is currently happening in the real estate space. I would encourage you to listen. You will learn something. And if you have questions in terms of what we have locally, we'd be happy to provide that information for you as well. But I just want y'all to know like all of this in here is to educate you, number one, and then you get to go educate your clients. So the news side of it was what was fascinating to me because it has all kinds of information here around what's happening in the industry. And then I want to go over here to Command. Anybody want to hit in the chat where you can find everything you would ever need or want in Command? or unmute yourself.
Connect.
Connect. What can I find in Connect?
Every video ever recorded by Keller Williams almost. You can pretty much look up any topic ever and you can find a video on it.
So for instance, I'm not able to go to Ignite. I could click in here and pull up Ignite. And really, quite frankly, I could read through it if I wanted to. It has all the information. I haven't been to Valued Square, and after our talks last week, I'm still not sure what my value is. Friendly reminder, I only got 2 people sending it to me, so please make sure y'all send that over. Value Squared, how to articulate your clients. Like, all you have to do is read this, so you have access to it. I'm going to do a video on farming. I'm interested in farming. I could get anything and everything I'd want to know from farming. Like, this is an entire class with Seychelle, who is a boss. If you're interested in that, this would be a good thing for you to do. Understanding let's say REO. They may or may not have anything on that. I'm not sure. No, they don't. What's something else? I'm gonna say command leads. All kinds of things on here. How to reactivate your database. All this to say is we do not lack access to knowledge, right? It's just, do we understand and do we have awareness that we need more knowledge in our lives? And what I often see happen is we kickstart our careers and then we hit a ceiling because we've decided that we are too good to learn and to grow and to break through that ceiling. So I'd encourage y'all to make sure, like, if there are things that you're interested in, you need to get in Novalynk and look at that. I would encourage you to go in Novalynk and watch Ann LaCosta's videos. And I would also urge you to go into Command as well. That is how I self-taught myself from the very beginning, because Ignite hadn't started yet. So I just went into Connect and watched all the videos. Obviously, we also have a world of YouTube. My only thing with YouTube is make sure that the guru you're following actually has the credibility they say they do. So understand the numbers. So if it's somebody saying they're doing 100 million, I would be more than happy to fact check people. You want to make sure you're following somebody that has gone before you and done the work. Any thoughts, feedback? Anybody have any other discussion around value or things you would like to learn that you have not feel like you have access to currently?
No, I was just gonna say there's so much information there. Pick, like, maybe quarterly, pick one thing you really want to focus on and then learn all about that. So don't get overwhelmed by trying to learn everything if you're new. That's
Well,
my
and
one thing.
based off of what I said last week, what is the one tool we can use to make sure we don't get overwhelmed?
The 401.
411. So if you're interested in farming, then that should be the only thing on your 411 over the next 90 days. If you're interested in creating I'm just making this up, a listing presentation that converts at a higher rate, that needs to be on your 411. So in terms of access to learning, y'all, there are so many things that you can access. And to Linda's point, you can only do one thing at a time. So understand your economic model in your business. If you don't understand it, let me know. I'd be happy to do another training on it. Understand how much money you need to make pre-tax and post-tax, right? Because I don't think a lot of people take that into consideration. And then look at the amount of lead sources you have, because that has to match your conversion rates so that you can hit your desired net for your household. Does that make sense? Like, what I often find is y'all don't have enough lead sources. All right, y'all, we're going to start going through these tools. Please make sure you log into Novalynk, start sharing some of those blogs, start listening to some of the broker videos, because I think they're incredible and full of all kinds of information that I don't know if sometimes we get, because Texas typically gets hit with a lot of things before Tennessee. So, oftentimes I can forecast what's coming just based on those videos. And then make sure you get into Connect. We are going to have Evan Ransom on this week. Leslie, do you know when he's joining us?
Tuesday.
So he's coming tomorrow. So he has built an entire lead funnel for productivity coaching programs for leads in command. I've been, well, I guess Evan and I've been in business together for, gosh, over 8 years. He is incredibly knowledgeable with command and creating leads in command. So if you need another lead source, I'd encourage you to get on because he actually gets reputable leads that convert. So let me know if I can do anything for y'all. I hope you have a great day. Please reach out if you need anything. Bye, y'all.